Yes, finally, we are live. First of all, welcome to our StreamYard. Welcome to our YouTube stream. My name is Akhmad Hurshetov, and I'm a GDSC Lead at Uzbekistan University. We have other, all right. We have other leads that will be moderators. Please, you can introduce yourself, and then we can go to the main guest of our today's stream. Yeah, Arujan, you can start.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So my name is Rojan, and I'm an Google Developer Students Club lead at the Sana International University in Kazakhstan. And so, yeah, it's really nice to have you here.
Yeah, thank you so much. Jahongir, your turn. Maybe there is a... All right, I think I have some problems. Now let's turn to our guest, Pranith. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. All good with that. Yep, your stage is yours. You can turn on your microphone, yeah.
Thank you for thank you for into your live stream. So let's even topic, right? So basically, there are many students who are working on different.
I think you turned off the microphone.
Yeah. Okay. Now is it right?
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that sounds great. You turned off your microphone again.
Sorry.
All right.
Sorry.
No problem at all.
So usually across the world, every student wants to know how to excel in the software industries, right? So in the software industry, every student want to expose himself in the form of projects. So every projects or everything he does, he need to contribute something. He need to contribute to their team. He need to contribute to their world, or he need to contribute for the community to build, right?
Yep.
So every time we are starting to build something, we usually face a lot of problems. So that's why we usually hang with our community, right? So in
Yep.
the open source across the world is like an huge community of developers across all programming languages and everything from basic to large complex systems. Everything has been now open sourced. Usually the Google is the main part of the open source, and other tech companies like Facebook and OpenAI, Microsoft has been leading the open source since many years. So coming to the open source technologies, we have many, but only students are very enthusiastic to learn something or to know something from the industrial experts, right? So basically, the open source has been a vast advantage for every one of us here. So in the open source itself, we can find many projects across the world. So before diving into the topic, let me give you a brief explanation of what I'm going to teach you about the best practices here today. So first, I'm going to discuss about what is open source. Okay, next, let's introduce our beginners or students or undergraduates who are currently doing their undergraduation in the university, how they want to contribute, how they want to excel in the industries as well to become a perfect software engineer or any other skill, how to contribute to the community, how to build our things. So basically, open source is nothing but a software which is available publicly across the world. So anyone on the internet can download and can share, can see the code, can modify it, can build their own systems with the help of this code. And this open source has been started in the 19th century. Since then, many developers across the world not only using it, they are using it to learn things, they are using it to access their internet across the world, and along with this, they are using it to huge spaces across the world. Now, so when the students in the university itself, when are trying to, start developing things, they usually learn what is what. So basically we have to start with the programming language. Any programming language you can take, you need to learn it perfectly. Even if you are good at starting with the C programming, it's fine. So you can in the GitHub is a popular open source version control system where you can find more than 10 lakh projects across the software industry. Even with the help of a C programming language, even if you're good at C programming language, there are more than 1,000 projects still. And today date, we are working for the C programming language. They use C to build scalable systems across the industry, and they are softwares. So even with the small C programming language, you can start contributing to the open source. So with that, every student needs to they need to learn about what kind of programming language they need to learn. So in this kind of programming languages, they need to excel from the start to the basic, starting with a small programming language like assembly or Prolog, and they starting go with the C, C++, and then the object-oriented programming they can learn. Next, they can go with the Java or Python. In that, we have many industries, and as of the current trends, many popular programming language used to be the Python or Java. Many use it to build their applications or apps or anything, and you can see this is we are slowly transforming from the digital age to the age of AI, right? In the age of AI, everyone using Python to build scalable systems. They are building machine learning models, they are building uh, language models, OpenAI, and etc. So in this area of things, people need to excel, and many students, even students from my university, they use it to feel like oh no, we already entered the age of AI, the industry is growing rapidly. How can we upskill? How can we many don't know how to upskill and how to do things, right? So in this context, every student need to learn how open source works. In the open source community, you can find large number of projects where you need to just the code, and the entire code of the project has been severely available there. So they can just go there, they can find their things, and they can learn what they need to learn. So in the process of learning, you can find every GitHub repository or every open source project. There is organizers, there are maintainers, there are contributors who constantly contribute to the community. In the way you can build the things, you can have talk to them, and you can have live interviews with them, or you can just ask for an help even with your seniors. You can start contributing to the open source. So in these contributions we have many, and most popularly we use GitHub as an open source contributions, right? So even we have Kaggle. This Kaggle is being a data science open source network for the data science or machine learning enthusiasts. So in the Kaggle, recently on February 21st, Google launched this language model called Gemma. The Gemma has been used to build the current Gemini model, which we all see in the categories. So starting with the Gemma, it's a language model, and I can see many students across the industry has been fearing about the AI. The AI has already come, we may lost our jobs, or we don't have jobs, we need to upskill rapidly. But don't worry, the uh, usually I want to tell you something, that there are three types of AI. Now, the first stage of is called narrow AI. In the second stage is called general AI. The third stage is called super AI. What we are experiencing now is just a language model. It's a part of natural language processing, NLP model, right? It's a part of deep learning. There are something even bigger more in the narrow AI. This even comes under a small narrow AI, these language models, or AI chatbots, or chatbots called a generative AI, or we can use it, call it as a Gen AI. This Gen AI is currently being the trend now, but this is just a small part of our generative AI or deep learning models. Everything is a large scale model. These are just a part in the narrow AI, but we have in the future, we can expect to have a general AI, or we can have to have a super AI. This general AI usually packs in the data, the huge processing of data. For example, if you consider your medical, or if you're consider having your data, right? The systems, the AI should process your data across from one stage to the another stage to apply what you need. For example, let me say in the future, when you order for a pizza, the AI model automatically recognize what kind of pizza you are looking for and what kind of thing you are going to start. And in the process of processing your data, it comes with your health data, medical data. It checks for your health, it checks for your what is good for you, what is bad for you, and it will instruct you what to find and what not to find. In this age of AI, everything surrounding you, everything around you has been a digital footprint that you are leaving inside the internet. So even if you are go to some place now in the current day, let's say today, if you walk to a particular place, in a particular place, your GPS, when your GPS you're active, your location has been shared on the internet and can be accessible by the anyone on the internet. So in the way you are leaving a digital footprint across everything. So in this way, you are spreading a large amount of data. As you can see from the 20s, from the 20s to 2010, 2010 and 2010 to 2020, the data has been hugely grown across many industries. And our data, every industry in the future are going to work with the data. They're going to process the data, they can find the data, they can visualize the data. This data is a source for the future, and many companies are trying to find their own way into the future. So in this way of open source, the data has been on the internet already. All we need is to analyze the data, work with the data, and build some amazing projects or some useful tools which can be helpful for the community. So in the way of building skills, you need to start learning with the programming language, right? You need to learn a programming language, either Python or Java, or if you are interested, you can go with the JavaScript as well. You need to upskill with this JavaScript. Just go to the GitHub, find repositories that are using Git JavaScript or Python or Java, whichever you need, and in that find projects. Only find the projects which have maximum number of stars, right? The maximum number of stars means across the world there are many developers or many software engineers who's working on that module, so that you only find a clean code. When you work with some random code on the internet, it can contain bugs. So when you try to build projects upon that module, you only uh, work with lot of issues and errors and across the module. So while building with the things like this, you need to go with the popular repositories or popular projects across the GitHub repository, right? So when contributing to the open source, you need to be open to the development. You need to talk to the maintainers. You need to talk to the organizers. Even if a small doubt you have, you need to express in the discussion section. It's fine. It's fine to ask a very small doubt. There is nothing. Everyone wants to build, right? So in this process of building, everyone needs to contribute to the open source. Even if you don't know anything about the what to contribute and how to contribute, even just go to the project you are like to contribute, and there you, if you don't find a documentation of a particular thing, you can just submit your documentation, right? Even the small documentation using a markdown language, or you can return the document itself, even it may be 2 or 3 lines. You can just contribute to it, ask for help, and improve your skills. There's a long way to go, right? Everything is an open source. Even the Google on the 21st February, as I said before, it's launched Gemma. The Gemma model has been on the Kaggle and it's open source now. So anyone who are interested can go into the Kaggle, can download the model, can work with the language model, can fine tune yourself for your particular task, and you need to submit. Even that in the private. For example, if you want to contribute to a particular project, right? If you are in the second year or third year of the university, okay, you want to build something, you want to help your community, go to the GitHub repository, finding a best project. Finding the project is the ultimate thing. For example, if you are starting applying for a company, you can't apply for a random company across the internet, right? You need to find your skills that matches your with the community. or with the company which matches with your skill or the job, that's the company you need to apply. Like that, in the open source, you need to find the project which contains everything, which you understand the code, you can understand the code, you can contribute the code, you can learn from, and that's the repository or the project you need to work with, right? The working with the in the stages of working, you may find several doubts. You need to upskill rapidly in this, even the same place. If you are don't know where to learn, just go with an open source. Even there are many of my friends from the Google who's been publishing guides on how to use this, how to use that, or anything else on the open source. If you want to learn JavaScript, there is a community of JavaScript in the online. Just go there, ask people. Uh, you need to connect with the people. You need to find the people that matches your skills level. Learn with them, excel with them. Try to build some tools. The tools you need to help with them. For example, in my second year, I use it to build some small tools that use it to help to my community. So even the projects you do are maybe small, or even it may be a tiny little contribution, but that contribution might be lead to you to excel in the future. After you are building a tool with the one help of an students or group of students, build together a single tool. The tool has been used, just publish it to the internet. People on the internet can find your tool. If the tool is working good, you can improve it, you can start building things or next features on it, or you can build modules upon it. For example, let me give you a small story of one of my friend. He usually lives in the South Africa. He built a tool called Excel to formulas, right? Excel text to the formulas. He just built it using the OpenAI API. The API is available in the internet. He just copied the API. He just in the Python he just written few formulas how to convert a Excel sheet formulas, right? So he just built a SaaS application upon it, a web application just with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. He used an OpenAI API to build it. So just he started to publish on the internet. As soon as he published on the internet, in the first week, he saw around 2,000 people has been using his website. So in the later weeks, he started to scale his website. After scaling around in the next second and third week, the audience used to grow rapidly from 2,000 to 5,000, 5,000 to 10,000, 10,000 to 50,000. And now his the SaaS application, the which he built a Excel sheet from the AI Excel sheet, he used to call it. The app is currently on the internet and it's been around 2 million users monthly. It just happens. When you build things, you need to publish on the internet, whether it may be small or big. Just publish into the internet, or you can simply publish in the GitHub. So when people watch it, when people know what you are doing, when it helps them, even it can be a small task, like just my friend did Excel formulas. Generating them is so easy. You can still work with that. He just built upon a SaaS business on it. Now he earns around $20,000 per month just using that simple application, right? So he just added some subscriptions and monthly payments in that. People use it to buy his content. He used it to sell content across the world. So now he's earning around $2,000 per month. It's not a single thing, right?
Yeah.
It's not a small thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Even we have to build things, even it may be small or something. You need to just work with what you have. You need to start building a community around yourself. uh, for example, even if you have uh, nothing to build, just form as a group. Teach yourselves what to. For example, if there are a group of 10 students, some people learn JavaScript, some people learn Python. Use it to conduct workshops in yourself. The self workshops you conduct, right? The workshops you need to work on. You need to excel your skills. You build things upon that, and you have just build the things. I know it may take some time. It may be months, it may be 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, or 5 months. Just interact with your faculty or any professors or any industry experts. Just go through the LinkedIn. If you find people on the LinkedIn, just ask them. I see many people on LinkedIn are too kind and good. You just reply them. You just ask them what is what. They will reply you. They will reply you back. If they have time, they will teach you what and what. They will tell you how to excel. They will tell you how to improve your skills. Just like that, you need to improve. You need to practice. You need to work hard. So in the process of getting knowing things, you will understand what is what, how everything builds. Even you can go to the open source, find a top project or a top repository built by the companies, see the structure of the code, how the code has been evaluated, how they use it to take reviews, how do they contribute, just learn the system design, how they build a scalable system upon that. So everything in the open source has been teaching you wide across every day. So in the process, you need to learn and excel. And in the future, the AI is just a part of our life. It's not gonna take over your jobs or something. You just need to excel in that. If you are good in that, you need to excel in that. You can work with the data. As I said in the earlier, data is everything. You need to analyze your data. You need to work with. For example, if you are using pandas is mostly known as a using the machine learning or a data science field, right? To build the models, to read and write data sets. Even if you find a small bug, or it can be a small bug, or sometimes you need to write 10 lines or 20 lines of code in the pandas to automate a single thing. If you find it helpful, if you want to reuse it, just go through the pandas in the GitHub. You can push your issue in that. You can raise an issue, or you can own your you can build or automate a small module in that. You can just submit into the GitHub. If the pandas or some other repositories like your work, they can just pull request into your thing. If your thing is working well, you can start contributing to the project. When you started contributing to the project, the company itself asks you to join in their team, right? If you are contributing more than an official developer inside the company, but you are staying outside the company and you are working for the company, same as a developer inside the company, even within 6 months of time or 3 months of time, they're gonna offer you a job, so that you can start working on the company internally. They're gonna pay you. Even if you have a small project, just publish into the GitHub. Even they have in the GitHub there is a sponsorship button, right? In the sponsorship button, you can ask for a sponsorship for your projects. If people like your project, they're gonna pay you. Uh, uh, they're gonna pay you in the dollars, or they can pay you in some other whatever currency they like, and you need to build a community around the project. For example, even with your help, the GSOC Google Summer of Code 2024 has been launched in the March and February, right? For the contributors, going to be launching on March 18th, I think, and in the February, many organizations has posted their projects in the GSOC Google Summer of Code. I will give you the link to the website. Go through there, find some amazing projects, find some mentors. There you can find some useful mentors who will help you across the way. So that when you find a mentor, ask them what is what they are working on, what technologies are they are using to build the project. So in the process of that, ask them what is what. Even if you are not selected for the GSOC, don't worry, just stick with the project, start contributing to the project. Even with the next level, within the 6 months of it, they're gonna hire you if you are contributing well. And you don't even need to understand the complete code. Even you just with the understand the code, just write some documents. Documentation is must for every open source project, but there are only few hundred projects that are having a perfect documentation in the internet. Many other open source projects doesn't have a documentation. Even if you start uh, publishing some documentation on their project, it's well and good. It's your starting point, right? So
Yes.
everything you need to submit in the open source. Even if you're interested in the machine learning, AI, or deep learning, you can go to the Kaggle. You can see the work of many people. experts in the Kaggle. I'm just a contributor, and there are experts, masters and grandmasters in the Kaggle. They daily publish their work in the Kaggle. You just go through their notebook, look what they have done, learn from them, how they are analyzing the data, how they are working with the data, how they are building the models, AI models, deep learning models in the Kaggle. You can find it in their notebooks. Or if you're interested in a competition, there are many ML deep learning competitions hosted on the Kaggle. So when you go there, you can work on them, right? You just join the competition, ask people who gonna interest, they're gonna join with you. And when people come together, you can look for the people who submitted the notebooks to the competition, start looking at that, start learning what you have and what you don't have. Just try to understand how they analyze the data, they visualize the data, try to build a model upon that, and with that you started experiencing the success with you. So it's my end of the talk, right? So if you
Yep.
have any questions.
Yeah, we have a lot of questions, to be honest. Like, first of all, we'll come back to Kaggle again, just to know your opinion about AI. You said there are three stages of AI: narrow, general, and super. Right now, we are
Yeah,
in general AI, and most of the companies are cutting off
we are in
their
the
employees, and most of
narrow
this.
AI. We are just in
Yeah.
the narrow AI,
Oh wow, we are in narrow AI, right? And
right?
what do you think? Will AI take like the world? Because most people talking about this, experience. And even if we are just in narrow AI right now, what will be in the super AI stage? Like, yep, that's the question.
For example, in the age of super AI, when you order a pizza, uh, for example, let's order a pizza, a big size with a fried cheese, okay? And the AI gonna notify you immediately the cheese is not good for you as the fat is growing in your body. uh, for example, it gets a data like, already I have seen your medical data, I have already seen your reports, I have already know about your health reports, so that the health reports has been saying that you have a lot of calories, you have a lot of fat in your body, so cheese, eating more cheese is been not healthy for you. So in the way of that, it gonna recognize. And let me tell you to, we are the Google even has been now currently building responsible AI. This responsible AI, which is it has a limits, it does not take over or it does not move along, it just move along with the human being. It just asks for us, it just take input from us, all it want is being our safety. The responsible AI is been building by the Google, and in the future nearly like 10 to 20 years, it's gonna come out, but nothing to worry, everyone has their own work with an AI. uh, it, Everyone can upskill and just go with the flow.
Yeah, understandable. Like, and which means there is no problem. Do your job. Don't worry about AI.
Yeah,
AI is just a tool to help in your career. Like, I got it
yeah,
right. Like, is it right? Right?
right.
Yes. We have some questions from other moderators as well.
Yeah,
You can uh, speak up, please. Go ahead. Maybe
Assalamu alaikum for everyone. Guys, how
yeah,
are you?
I'm fine.
So I have a question.
Yeah,
Can you give some advices to the youngsters in IT field to start their career as a freelancer just,
yeah.
in their universities, like at the university age? Please give some advice to the youngsters to start their
exactly. Very good question.
careers as a freelancer. Yeah.
Yeah, basically if you are a youngster, if you are just completed your high school, if you have money and you have a good study experience, you can join a college or a university for a bachelor's degree in the computer science or a bachelor's degree in computer applications. And if you don't have money or to apply for a college, it's fine. You need to, if you have an internet, if you have a stable internet connection and a computer with you, you can learn from the internet. There are many people from the 19th to the 2000s who's been just learning everything just with the help of a computer and internet. There are many people, as you can see in the movies, they will give you many examples, right? They are small kids who need to learn. If you don't have money, it's okay, you just need to have a computer. For example, let me give you a real-time example. The Amazon and Google and the Facebook, which I'm seeing now, has been built by the college students in their garage, right? They just has an enthusiastic to build something to help the world, right? They just started with a small tool in the garage. They slowly started to scale. They slowly started to publish their work on the internet. They slowly used to grow bigger and bigger and bigger, higher. And within no time, just in the 20 years, they became the tech giants in the world. Over $2 or $3 trillion, right?
Yep.
Yes, you're right.
Just you can find anything to learn on the internet. Just go with that. Find what interests you the best. It can be web, it can be Android, or it can be machine learning or OpenAI, anything.
Thank you, sir, for your answers and valuable information so far.
Yeah,
Right.
thank you.
Thanks for the answer. So, yeah. Jakhongirkhuja, you can go ahead. Like you had some questions, I know.
Yeah, sure. First of all, thank you for joining us. You mentioned that there are some LinkedIn communities there where the students can ask questions. It would be nice if you mentioned some of them so that they can start interacting in these communities.
For example, if you are interested in building web applications or website, and if you know Python, Python has some web application frameworks called Django Flask. In every GitHub repository, there is a section or a tab called discussion section, so that you can go there, just ask your question. People who are in this community or in the project, they will start asking you questions, or they will start helping you with the things. No, they will start answering your questions. Build a chat, build a communication out of it, start building your things. Okay. And if you are okay with an Android, just go with the Google, find an Android project there, then you can ask your questions. They will help you to grow. Or if they are okay, even you can find guides on how to build Android applications or web design applications in the internet. You go to the GitHub, search for anything, whatever you want. If you want to learn data structures and algorithm, it's fine. There are repositories which you use it to store and organize the code you need to learn for the data structures and algorithms as well.
And one more question. So
Yeah.
as we can see, AI is growing rapidly. For example, in recent days, I have seen that AI is like making videos. It's so realistic. And so in the future, how are AI experts going to make sure that AI will not harm human or to not bring any damage to our like modern society? So can you talk a little about it?
So let me tell you a brief story. For example, if you consider these models, it is called as Gen AI because they are built upon generative AI. They're a part of deep learning called GANs, generative artificial neural networks. Their only task is to generate from the given text. So in the nearby future, if you build AI with some physical tools like robots or something, they use it to have a lot of hardware to process the data. Even we need to compress. For example, the LLMs we are using right now, just like OpenAI chatbots. The chatbots every day they uses many bytes of trillions and TBs of data to process your things and generate your things. They need to compress into a little packs of things to generate them as a robots. These robots can harm you, but the Google in the form and now in the stage of even in the stage of narrow AI only, they are building responsible AI. This responsible AI is only going to grow with the human, not to overtake the human. It grows simultaneously and parallelly with the humans. It just only there be to help us. This responsible AI, in the style, we need to fine tune it. Without fine tuning, it goes somewhere. It thinks somewhere, it generates something. It's not useful, right? So in the responsible AI, it's starting to build things which are helpful for us. The AI in the future need to be grow parallelly to the humans, not to overtake them. If it grows parallel to us, we can even grow much better with the help of that. So I think Einstein has already said a human brain is a lot of more computational than a single computer. More than 10,000 or 20,000 computers together can form a human brain. So you can just outperform them if you
Wow.
are good enough.
Yeah, this is the
That's
quote of
amazing.
the day.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So Arjan, are you here? You had some questions.
Oh, yeah, I have some two questions, let's say. So I just wanted to know about your experience because it seems like you have really wide experience of working before, and as I have looked on your LinkedIn profile, so you have experience of writing some blog posts, and one would be with can you hear me? Okay.
Yep.
Hello.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
good.
You are good audible.
So yeah, I just want to know more about your blog post experience exactly with quantum computing because yeah, I can see that you have published on this topic blog post. So can you please tell me more about this?
Yeah. Usually in my second year of undergraduation, when I am starting to learn the data structures and algorithms, I find a problem called NP-hard problem. The NP-hard problems usually need to time complexity of more than 10 years, 12 years as you grow. For example, if you take I'll give you a short example. It's called traveling salesman problem. The traveling salesman problem, in that a person need to find a path to travel across the countries. Okay. The input of the algorithm is the number of countries. For example, if you give an input of 7 or 8 or 9, it's good. But if the input goes to 15 or 20, it could take around 10 years to compute. That algorithm takes 10 years of time to compute the path across the 10 countries or 20 countries or 15 countries. And so I'm stuck there how to build systems upon this. In that time, I used to find something called quantum computing. The quantum computing, in that everything works with the quantum physics. It's not with the physical world we are in. For example, let me give you a short introduction. For example, in the computer size, we use it to store the data in form of bits. It can be 0 or 1. For example, if you need to store a number, or if you can to store a 1, it can be stored as 0 1, right?
Yeah.
2 power of 0 and 2 power of 1. But in the
Yeah.
quantum computing, we don't have bits. In the quantum computing, we have qubits. Each qubit can simultaneously accumulate, can 0 and 1 at the same time. But in the qubits, only we can store 0 or 1 only in one particular place, only at once. But in the quantum computing, you can store 0 and 1 in one bit at a time. So it helps us to increase our scalability and production. For example, 4 bits in the computer can equal to 2 power 4 bits in quantum computing. 2 power 4 means it's like 16 bits. It's like the 2 bits in your physical world equal to 16 bits in the quantum world. It's like increase in the storage, right? Increase in the storage, increase in the computation. So I started to build an algorithm. In that, I started to use KD trees. It's k-dimensional trees. In that, I used to build an application upon that, and I started working on that in my second year. In my fourth year, I published a paper upon it in the international journals. In that, I use it to achieve something good. For example, I used it to solve this problem, finding the path between one country to another country in the usual physical computers on the laptop we are using currently. It used it to take around 40 to 50 seconds to compute, whereas in the quantum computer, it just computes in the 0.09 seconds. It's very fast, it's very unique, it's very computationally high. So this quantum physics can even merge with an AI in the future. Who knows?
Mhm. Okay, yeah, thank you. Thanks for your answer. And also, like,
Thank you.
let's one, yeah, the next question. So, I'd like to know more about code reviews because I know that you have done some. And
Yeah.
can you please tell me like more about the reason behind choosing Google for such a code reviews?
Yeah, okay. So during my fourth year, or let me explain you a real-time example. So if you want to contribute to a particular project, the code in the already in the open source project, everyone across the world use it to contribute to it, right? So in the stage of contributing, one person has started to use the code from the other person. The other person's code has been dependent on some other kind of person, like when you started to work with a repository or a module, that module has been built by one person and it is used to contribute with another person, and in the long way there can be many bugs, there can many situations where people use it to miswrite the code or mislead the code. There we can find the bugs. These bugs can help us to have many errors in the real time. So to outperform that, every company in that, when they are building projects and when they are building tools, they use it to conduct code reviews. Even in the Google, we have code reviews, right? These code reviews can be done in the many ways. uh, Whenever a software engineer in a particular team writes the code, other members in his team use it to review the code for any bugs, for any errors, for any style guides or errors or something. So during my third year, I started to work on code reviews. I started to research more on that. In my fourth year and final year, I built a project upon that. It's called a novel recommendation system for code validation and optimal refactoring. I built simply a code editor where you can write your code. It just uses some machine learning and natural language techniques to find errors in that code. It gives you a score. With the help of the score, there is a new code has been generated just next to it, so that you can see that generated code and you can modify your original code. So in that, I started to research more about that, and the Google code reviews has been doing since the early stage of the company to find and handle bugs across the company. And as you can find the Google, it's a large tech giant. In that, the code reviews, they have built many tools and systems upon that increasingly and largely. So that's how I started to get interest in the code reviews. That's why I started to publish papers on that, and I have built many code editors with that code review process as the main thing.
Okay, thank you so much for the answer.
Well, it's almost like 1 hour long, and it was amazing, I think. So if other moderators don't have questions, we can finish our broadcast for today, and we can like
Yeah, sure.
continue this kind of broadcasts and live streams like day by day, week by week, if you agree. So thank you
Sure.
so much for today's live stream, for your informative facts about AI and your honest opinion about the future of AI and your open source contributions, like opinions. Thank you to all the moderators as well. And I
So
think, yeah.
thank you for all the Google Cloud developer leads here in the meeting today, and thank you for the Central Asia Google developer code community. Let's build the ecosystem safely and friendly. So help our
Right.
future students to excel in their careers as well. Thank you all.
All right. Thank you. Before we finish, like, let's take a screenshot of this call, like with this kind of sign, so we can finish.
Yeah,
and then,
sure. Yeah, sure.
guys, if you want, you can turn on your cameras. All right. 1, 2, 3. I will just like. All right. 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much. Thank
Yeah,
you
thank you.
to everyone. Hope to see you in
Yeah.
future events and
Yeah,
projects.
thank you.
Have a good
All right,
one.
thanks for the time.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.